Hello and welcome to Trains in Viatic. A few Wednesdays ago I had to play with this kit, which got me thinking. I have said a bit about static grass in the past, but I haven't really tested it, so I brought some of my static grass equipment down, like my flock kit and some puff bottles, and I also brought down my stash of static grass. So in this episode we're going to do some experimenting with the static grasses, see how some of them behave, and also try to make some bits on this plastic. So stay tuned, and now for the titles. The first thing I'm going to do is actually explain what static grass is. Here it's just standard scenic flock, which is just a general powder, and you use this to create scenery, or one of the ways of making scenery. And I believe this is just grated up foam, but I've never actually really worked out what it is. On the other hand, you have static grass, which is this stuff here, which is long fibres, and it stands up to create a grass effect. So I use these two together at times. Other times I just put base paint down and then put this on. But for the belly scene which we're working on, I'm planning to put this down first and then spread this across, as I've already painted the scene. So this one here is a bush grass, I think, bush make it, and I find I keep my grasses in pots, then it means it's easy to fill them up and easy to grab what you need. And I have many types of grass. So we got this one here, then we got this one here, which is another static grass, and it's different colours. This is quite a short length. I believe this is a 2mm grass. The grass come in different lengths, so you can represent different kinds of grasses. I then have this one here, which is a mixture of static grass and flock material, and this is meant to represent more of a field or meadow. Again, it's quite short fibres. I then have these two boxes. This is again short fibres. I'm trying to keep them all in tubs so that it's easier to handle them. And then I've got a lot of little packs as well in here. Most of my grass is notch, but last year, if you were watching my live streams, you will have noticed I had snow. Again, this is another form of static grass. So I think what I'm going to do is get a piece of foam board, and we can try applying it. I've got two different ways to do it today. We have my flock kit, and then for Gauge Master / notch puff bottle. For gluing it down, these are both the same glue. One's just Gauge Master branded and one is Notch. They're the same weight and all the other bits are the same. I'm going to clear my bench off, and then we can have a try at creating some grass test spots. I've set up this grid with 4 different grasses I'm going to try. Along the top I'm going to use a flock kit, and along the bottom I'll use a puff bottle. All of them will be using the Gauge Master glue, and we can then see what performance we get from everything. On the flock kit I'll be using the standard head, which is this one here, and then we can see how they all turned out. I'll be doing this in real time, but for you I'm going to do it in speeded up. And so that's that bit. I'll glue scenic, glue scenic, glue scenic in that fashion so that we can see how everything works. So that's the experiment finished. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them for a few hours now to dry. At the moment that one's looking really good, that one's looking really good, and that one's looking pretty good. I think looking at them you can see that I was having the electric in that corner, so that worked quite nicely. The Notch worked quite nicely with the puff bottle, but the Woodland Scene didn't. But Woodland Scene have never said it will work with the puff bottle. But it's really nice with the static grass applicator. So I'll leave this to dry, and then I'll come back to you shortly. I've now allowed everything to dry for overnight, and I've got some interesting results. Everything come off better using the flock kit, which I was suspecting. But this one, which is a notch static grass with a bit of flock material in, that actually come off quite well with a puffet bottle. For Woodland Scenic really needs static to apply, as that came out really nicely. With a puff bottle it's just an absolute mess. For the valley, which is why I was testing it, I'm going to be using that and I'm going to chuck some of that in for mix just to see how it come out. So I think I might do one last test with that, mixing a few bits together to get to a nice result, and then we can go up into the attic and actually do some scenic work. I got my piece of board, put a piece of metal in to use as a contact. So first of all, I'll make a mix to go in here. So I'll put a nice pinch of this one in. Then I'll put a pinch of this in, just to put some long grass in for mix. I hope mixing it doesn't actually cause any problems. So that should have a bit of a mix now. Mix it all about. And then I'm just going to put some glue on, then we can have a try to see how this works. I've also found whereabouts you put the electrical return to be quite different, make different to how it come out. So this time I'm sticking it in for the middle. And I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. That should do quite nicely. So connect this to the wire and then just turn it on. And I think that worked quite nicely. You got a nice mixture of grass and sketch material. Could have done with a little bit more of a longer grass. So that's going to be the one that I'm using on the layout. So next thing for me to do is to go up into the attic. So let's go up into the attic and we can do some scene, sketch it grassing. One last thing to do before I go up into the attic is I want to make some clumps of grass so I can have them running along the side of the bridge. I tried this with for woodland scenic before and didn't get a nice thing, but I wasn't using a static grass applier at that point. So I'm putting a line of glue down and a line of glue down. Then I'm going to attach the connector there, and I'm just going to attach the glue across to that. And I'm going to use a mixture of a short and long woodland scene grass. see how that looked. That looked quite nice. Put the top back on. Turn it on. And that's actually looking quite good. Everything is sticking up nicely on it, and I'm happy with that. So turn it off, and we can come back to this later on. But you can see the grass is sticking up along it. The two different grasses are doing quite a nice job. Hopefully I'll be able to straighten this out and just put this in along the edge of the bridge. So now I'll go up into the attic. So after all that testing and trying, time to put some grass down. I got my bits with me. So I'll pause the camera, grab the stuff, and then we can do a high speed to get this section grassed. This I now need to leave for a day or so for all the glue to set, but I'm very pleased with the outcome. We'll go down to the desk and see how the last experiment with the static grass went, but I'm very pleased with how this have turned out. It will need a lot of vacuuming to be done, and then I can one day do finishing touches on it. I think I might just reballast the track just to give it a bit more of a finished look. But this is a job well done. So let's go down to my desk and finish off this episode. So this is the last test piece, which actually came out quite nicely. And you can see all the leftover static grass from it. And this was the last experiment, which was seeing how it applied with how the woodland scene grass ended up on a strip of glue, as the original test a few weeks ago was an absolute failure. But this have came out very nicely. You've got some bits laying down, some bits standing up, and it looked like a really nice thing. Let's just go and try to get this off the plastic. So there we go, that's very nice. I'm happy with it, and I think this is actually a success. I like how I got some big clumps and some small clumps, and it will be able to be used around the layout. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, Wednesday will be my next live stream, which I'll be doing. I haven't worked out what I'll be doing yet. I might find a Metcalf model to make. And then next Saturday we'll be working on adding some details to the area we just grassed. So like I said, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, to tell your friends, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much, Richard.